playing this song this morning for some reason. Sitting in the dock of the bay, I've been sitting till the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and I'll watch them roll away again. I'm just sitting in the dock of the bay, wasting time away. Sitting in the dock of the bay, wasting time away. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything seems to remain the same. Everything just remains the same. Now, it's an interesting song, this, and I'm trying this new system whereby I actually make the music on one video. Last time I did this, I made the video, made another video, added the two together. This one, we're going the whole hog. We make the music, we make the video, we do it in one go. We don't even plug the guitar in. Now, this is the last song that Otis Redding wrote before he died. And he died by committing suicide. And so he got to the end of his tether and seems like nothing's going to change. That is what happens when a person can't see any future. There's no future. There's nothing they can do with their life that's in any way meaningful anymore. And this is the state of affairs that the world has got to at the moment. Not the globalists. The globalists, they still are arguing and fighting and trying to take over the world, one world hegemony. You know, destroy the Russians, destroy the Chinese, destroy anybody who doesn't agree with them, destroy their own people, whatever. And fill the whole country full of immigrants so that somebody will do their work that they want to have done, you know, because they can't do anything themselves. This is a problem. They don't create anything. All they do is destroy. And so the whole population of the UK is now sitting around doing nothing because it doesn't want to support the killing that's going on that the globalists are doing. Now, the globalists are all those people who fly the Ukrainian flag. It's funny because they stole the Ukraine from the Ukrainian people, and now they fly the Ukrainian flag is now the globalist flag. So wherever you see that flag, you know that that's a globalist. And I was surprised to see it flying on top of my local church here. They had the globalist flag flying on top because that's, you know, they're not a real church. They're just part of the globalist agenda. You know, they have a plan for all the churches to get together in a World Council of Churches, the same as the World Economic Forum. You know, it's all a con. It's fake, yeah? It's not real religion. It's just organized religion. In the same way, it's not real government. It's organized government. It's organized for the benefit of the cartels, the gang of crooks that run the globalist agenda. Now, I would have died long ago if that was useful to nature. And what happens to a person is, if they're no longer of any use to nature, if they can't do anything any good with their body anymore, nature will do something with it. And to commit suicide is a very, very terrible thing that can happen to a person. You know, the old wise elders used to understand that if a person committed suicide, that they would end up as a demon, haunting a ghost, haunting the world in the place where this happened, and bad things would happen around where people committed suicide. And I was led by nature to study this because once upon a time, one day, I was moved into a house where two people had both committed suicide. The previous owner, nobody had lived there since. And so there was a father, he committed suicide, then the son lived in the house and he committed suicide. And so there was a demon inhabiting the house. This is a dog's place. Dog is barking. And I experienced being taken over and used by this demon to fight with the next door neighbour. I had nothing against, but it was just simply, he was a person who was responsible for treating people so bad that they committed suicide. And then their job is to haunt that area, to try to bring justice into the world. If that's the only way that justice can be brought in, that's what will happen. And so, what's happened in the UK, I'm not going to speak for other parts of the world because it's probably the same in most of the rest of the Western Hemisphere, is that the global elites have taken over all of the political parties, and they all have the same agenda to make war against Russia and the Chinese and global hegemony. That is the agenda of all of the political parties, and so the political parties no longer represent the people. And if anybody comes into power in the political parties, like the Jeremy Corbyn, for example, then they use the global media to destroy that person on charges of, anti-Semitism is their normal sort of thing that they do. Oh, how dare, this guy's a terrible person, destroy them using slander. And so that's basically what happens to anybody who manages to come to power inside one of the parties that is not, and who is not in support of the aims and ambitions of the globalists. It's the same with Donald Trump to a certain extent, although I don't believe he's completely out of the pocket of the globalists. He does represent some alternative faction, if you like. And so these people are vilified by the media, and the media is paid henchmen of the globalists. Now, the only way that we can ever get rid of these people is if political parties clean house and the media is somehow legislated out of existence. Somebody comes into political power with the agenda to get rid of the media completely and make private ownership of the media illegal, because that's what it should be. And those people working in the media should be paid a small stipend. If they're making videos on YouTube and stuff like that, they should be able to be paid a small amount of money so that they can continue to be a free voice of the media in the eyes of the people. And that nobody who's paid to do this will ever be allowed to have anything to do with the media ever again. So all this money involved in propaganda needs to be reined in and prevented. It's the people who have the money who have to be targeted, not the people doing the work and being paid to do it. These people simply do it because it's the only economical choice that they've got. The same way as it might be the only economical choice that people have to go and work for Amazon. Okay. And the only way that we can really make our personal objections felt is to not actually support any of these systems that are corrupt and globalist systems. So anywhere where this Ukrainian flag is flying, we should just have nothing to do with. That's the end of it. You don't go through their door, you don't buy anything from them, you just don't have anything to do with them ever again. Anybody who has this lapel badge with the Ukrainian flag, that's the end of them. Yeah, they've got to go. How dare they? How dare they show their face in the sovereign nation? Yeah, this is not a Soviet country. The religion of the Soviets is communism. The religion of the Chinese is communism. The religion of this modern religion is globalism, and this is an elite religion. We're not allowed to be part of that religion. We have to be slaves of that religion. And anybody else's idea, any other religion to that, has to be eliminated. That's the way they see it. And so all we can do is really not support them in any way. And that means not supporting the government. While there's a government in power that is not representative of the people, that has a globalist agenda, that's flying a Ukraine flag, which is a globalist flag, which is sending weapons, allowing the country to make and sell weapons of mass destruction. This is completely against the agenda of the people. The people don't want this. The people don't want to fight wars. The people don't want bombs to be dropped anywhere in the world. There shouldn't be a single bomb dropped. That's the end of it. If you want to fight with somebody, fisticuffs is good enough. And we should have, these globalists need to be put in the ring and made to fight each other. That might change them. Anyway, there's not a lot we can do except not to support anybody who's flying a Ukrainian flag. Enough said.